Hey everybody, it's your Professor David Britt coming to you today from Arches National Park in Moab, Utah. We are continuing our travels in the national parks in Utah, and the arch behind me is called the Pine Tree Arch, I believe. There are several arches here. The most popular one, I'm not going to be able to do the video because there'll be 1,000 people there with me today, but this one's rather quiet, so I'm glad I've got this kind of to myself. We're going to talk about Module 5 this week. Module 5 is about heuristic thinking and reflective decision making. Now, as you go through the lesson this week, you're going to get a definition of heuristics, which for some people just means snap judgments. It will be those things that you do just out of a force of habit or something that instincts will guide your thinking on that. So, for example, if you have a child and your child runs out in the middle of the highway, you don't have to do a critical thinking exercise to say, I'm going to go get my kid, right? And so that is what heuristic thinking, snap judgments are. So if you want to impress your friends, your colleagues, your boss this week, work heuristics into the discussion and they will be duly impressed, okay? And so that will be in Chapter 10. You'll talk about snap judgments. Chapter 11 will be on reflective or more in-depth type of decision making, okay? The discussion board this week talks about cognitive heuristics. What are the good things about them? What are the bad things about them? How can they help? How can they hurt? And so I'll be interested to see your comments on that in the discussion forum this week. And then the assignment this week will talk to you and ask you to replay a tragedy that happened in my hometown, St. Louis, Missouri, a few years ago. And you'll know it as the Ferguson tragedy. And as you go through that tragedy that happened, one of the key things will be something called planting the flag. And so what you'll see is that people, without gathering the facts, without thinking critically, on both sides of that issue will have planted their flag, and they will have not moved from where that flag is planted. So I'm asking you to analyze that particular situation and then talk about how you could possibly use some of the strategies that the authors talk about in the textbook this week to help influence those types of discussions. So make sure you get some background research on this one. The Department of Justice had some good information on that, so that may be a good source for you to use. And then the application this week, as you continue to focus on your problem-solving exercise, will be about drawing conclusions. And so we've done the introduction, we've done the overview, we've recognized the assumptions, we've stated some problems, and now what you'll be able to do is to take all the information you're gathering and help draw some fact-based conclusions, okay? So, hope you have a great week, and if you need me, reach out. I'll chat with you whenever you bounce me an email, all right? Take care.